Welcome to Media Men Online. I am Dan. This is Isaiah.
Hey.
And these are the top 6, again, weekend domestic box office for the week of February 10th, 2023 to February 12th, 2023. Number 6, Knock at the Cabin. Previous rank of 1. This is its second week out and has a previous weekend earnings of $14.1 million, all the way down to $5.6 million. So quite a steep drop, but go out and see this movie. I think it's worth seeing.
I'm not surprised it's dropped down that much because word of mouth is going out about how it's not actually that good. Like, if you're interested in it, the movie does enough, right? But I'm definitely not surprised by the drop off. Coming in at number 5 is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Previous ranking of 4. It's been out for 8 weeks. The previous earnings were $7.9 million. This week's earnings being $5.6 million. So still, it's still dropping, but at a far less percentage rate than any of the other movies.
And look at this. So number 4 is 80 for Brady. Previous rank of 2, with second week out. Look at how close 80 for Brady is to Puss in Boots being number 4. Mm-hmm. So Puss in Boots was 5,579,765. 80 for Brady made 5,800,305. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So Puss in Boots with just the slightest drop off, but 80 for Brady had a previous week of 12,701,000, which has come to be expected that this would have a steep drop.
Number 3, which we'll just kind of breeze by since there's not much to talk about. It's Titanic's 25th anniversary came back to theaters. I guess the best thing you can say about it is that it bumped Avatar: Way of Water back down to number 4 of all time. Titanic's back at number 3. It made about $6.7 million at the box office,
which is
not
banana.
Surprising. I guess I can't comment too much because I haven't seen it, but the movie's 3 hours and 15 minutes long. I don't know if that's how long the actual movie was, or if they had deleted scenes.
No, it was 3 hours. I don't want to get too far into this, but back in the day, there were something called VHS tapes, kids out there. The Titanic box set, the Titanic VHS, came on 2 VHS tapes. Not because of any sort of special features or anything, but the movie was that long. So once the first tape ran out, and yes, you had to rewind it, you had to pop the other one in. True story.
Jeez. But,
this is much better movie than Avatar, for sure.
Yeah, very fitting that number 2 was Avatar: Way of Water.
Yep.
Previous ranking of 3, been out for 9 weeks. Box office earnings of $7.2 million, with the previous week being $11.3 million.
All right, at number 1, Magic Mike's Last Dance. This is its first week out. Current box office earnings of $8.3 million. Now, I was going to do a comparison to the most recent Magic Mike till I found out it was called Magic Mike XXL. And I just didn't want to type that out because it's just really weird. But the opening weekend now brace yourselves. The opening weekend for the first Magic Mike movie, $39 million.
I mean, what, you don't want to see Channing Tatum? It was the first time you get to see Channing Tatum strip on screen. I mean, why wouldn't you, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry to everyone watching this on the actual video of it instead of just listening as a podcast, because you'll have to see the trailer during this. All right, so you ready to talk about some previews? All right, and these are the upcoming movies for February 17th, 2023.
First up, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Notable cast members are Paul Rudd. You have Evangeline Lilly. Michael Douglas. Genre: science fiction. I wonder what studio it's from. Maybe Disney?
You know what's weird is when I was looking it up, I thought it was going to say Marvel Studios, and it said Walt Disney Pictures.
Yeah. Walt Disney wants their name on everything now.
Yep.
The synopsis is Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne, along with Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, explore the quantum realm, where they interact with strange creatures and embark on an adventure that goes beyond the limits of what they thought was possible.
I'll let you go, but I just have one thing to say about this movie. So the synopsis spells out exactly what my problem is with Marvel movies, DC movies, with superhero movies in general now. There's Scott Lang, there's Hope Van Dyne, there's Hank Pym, there's Janet Van Dyne. There's the daughter who's going to be in this. Ant-Man does not feel special. And I know Hank Pym in the beginning, he's the first Ant-Man. So Scott Lang being Ant-Man means there's already a second one. But now there's 5 of them. Nobody in this MCU feels special. And the people who are original characters aren't interesting.
I have no idea what to feel about this movie. I know you're you're kind of checked out on Marvel completely at this point. I've been hearing interesting things about the movie, but I really didn't like that second Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. I thought it did the cardinal sin of being boring. The first movie I liked quite a bit of because a lot of Edgar Wright, who was the original director before he quit because they were too limiting with him. And that's why like a lot of the dialogue and editing style was left over from him, which made that movie work.
Right. Also, on top of that, the movie was so different than the rest of the Marvel movies
Oh
because
yeah,
it was like a heist movie.
yep,
It's great.
yeah. I could tell all the unique things about this movie came from Edgar Wright, and then you had like the boring villain and that boring. Well, I wouldn't say the fight at the end was completely boring. I thought they made good use of like the shrinking and
Yes.
growing stuff at the end. It's just the villain himself was kind of boring. It was just another evil version of the good guy. So
Yeah.
I'm going into it expecting it to be mid.
Yeah, there are 2
Uh,
things that the Regal Unlimited Pass has done because I've always loved movies since I was a kid, and it's been a passion of mine forever. But the Regal Pass has done 2 things. It's allowed me to watch all these other movies, which I'm, back in like the early 2010s, I was watching pretty much strictly Marvel movies with some exceptions. And
yeah.
it has made me realize that there's so many better movies out there.
'Cause
Like,
you just watch the movies you are comfortable with because you don't want to
yeah,
spend $15 on a
exactly.
movie you don't want to watch or you're not sure
Yep.
you want to watch. With the Regal Limited Pass, it's why not give it a shot? And
Yeah.
I don't even think you need the Regal Unlimited Pass anymore because now that you've opened yourself up to so many of these different movies, it's
Yeah.
just okay. These are what you're looking for now. You're looking for completely different types of things.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. What if are you excited for any of the Marvel movies? Just
Yeah,
let us
what
know.
I'll
This one is called The Weapon. Was that too loud? I
yeah
tried to pull my mouth away.
I'm a little confused why you had it like that.
It's because in the trailer on IMDb and on YouTube, it's all in caps.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a thriller from Lionsgate Studios. In the synopsis, Dallas is a one-man killing machine on a mysterious rampage. His attacks on biker gangs and meth labs anger the Vegas mob bosses who's holding Dallas's girlfriend hostage. But who is Dallas working for? Even torture won't make him talk, and he won't stop until justice is served. It's another 80s style action movie, dragged and dropped. But I thought that in the trailer, the dialogue and the action scenes looked pretty suspect.
Yeah, this movie wasn't doing it for me. It seemed like all show, no substance.
The
Which maybe I'm
synopsis sounds
wrong.
great.
Yeah, that's why maybe it was just a bad trailer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just the entire trailer was just this guy beating up a bunch of people. But
Speaking of
I
telling
know
us nothing, literally.
I was just about to say that. Up next we have Hidden Blade. Uh, Notable cast member is Tony Leung. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He was the Mandarin in the Shang-Chi movie. It's a drama history thriller from Well Go USA. It follows the story of underground workers who risk their lives to send intelligence and defend the motherland, set after Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor when the Wang Jingwei regime declared war on Britain and the U.S. Yeah, so as Dan hinted at, there was no dialogue in the trailer, and I guess you watched 2 trailers, and there was no dialogue in either of them.
Correct.
I'm guessing it's going to be in Chinese though, because it's a Chinese movie. They're all Chinese actors, but maybe they have no dialogue because they have dubs coming out of it. Because when I was looking on IMDb at languages, it had English listed.
And it is by Well Go USA, so
Yeah, I have no
I
idea,
guess we'll
but
see.
that
I'm
that it.
super interested in this movie. Next
Oh,
up, we have Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's a horror movie by Jagged Edge Productions. It follows Pooh and Piglet as they go on a rampage after Christopher Robbins abandons them for college. Wow. Christopher Robbins, sorry. abandoned for college.
You don't need.
This
You'll need to
movie,
apologize. All right. If anything needs to apologize, it's this movie.
I am gonna see this movie. It looks so bananas and bonkers that
It looks so stupid. Like I saw this and I was like, oh, it somehow looks even worse than that Grinch movie. Like the Piglet mask doesn't even look like Piglet. It's just like a warthog. It has tusks.
Oh yeah, because he's old now. That's how I took it.
I-
Because he's not a piglet anymore. He's a full-grown bastard.
But it just looks like people in costumes.
Yeah,
I thought that's what it was. It was just like people dressed up in these costumes. But apparently this movie is, it's like, nope, this is just Pooh and Piglet. Like, what?
So these masks look like the $5 masks. Oh, they're probably 10 now. The generic cheap masks when you go to a Halloween store. If you don't, they're the mask wall where if you don't feel like spending a lot of money, but you need to go to a Halloween party, are the masks that you buy. That's what these look like. It's bananas, and I want to see it. I'm going to try and get Jeremy to watch this, and if not, I'm going to try and get you to watch this. Because it's going to be
God,
roastable.
I hope Jeremy wants to watch this.
He's not gonna.
Up next, we have Marlowe. It is a drama from IFC Films starring Liam Neeson and a couple other big names, including. It was funny because last week we talked about that actor that was in Consecration.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he's like Stryker from X-Men. He's just like he's in like everything, and he popped up in this trailer. It's takes place in the late 1930s Bay City. A brooding, down on his luck detective there is hired to find the ex-lover of a glamorous heiress. I had heard the name of this movie. I think I got it confused constantly with like what's that animated cat movie we talked about like a couple weeks ago? It's like The Marvelous something. But it sounded so similar to Marlowe that's what my brain went to. It just seemed really interesting to me, like this mystery.
Yes, and it's Liam Neeson's still his same thing of where he has to find you and he will make you pay, that kind of thing. But he's in his like 70s now, so he's not doing all this action stuff, but he's still doing some action, but with the same style that he had in Taken, but with less fighting. So I'm all for this. This looks awesome. Yeah, I like the aesthetic. Like this, I think it comes out the 15th. It looks really good. Definitely gonna have a review coming soon for that one. So
hey, instead of Ant-Man and the Wasp,
yeah, right.
Go watch this one.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for us. Let us know what movie you're looking forward to most in the comments and all that good stuff.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, right?
I'm just awing and umming right now, so we're gonna sign off here. We'll catch you guys later.